Going over to the business blunder of the day, you have Benchmark Live Sharp warranty, loses knives, and gives wrong ones back. Now, this comes from personal experience, and yeah, let's just say it was a really big milestone in my career when I actually bought the Benchmade Osborne carbon fiber knife. It's ridiculously overpriced for a knife. No one needs it. It's definitely 110% a luxury item, but it's very much a milestone in my technological career, or my building my tech company up, and want to get something to commemorate that moment. And one of the nice things about Benchmade was they have this life sharp warranty where as long as you buy it, I mean, if you want to get it sharpened 100 times throughout your whole life, they'll do it for free. They'll even pay for the postage. It's a really great program, or it was. And I did use it about 2 years prior. And again, it took a little longer. It took a couple weeks. Granted, it's a free service, so well, you pay for it in the purchase price, but it doesn't cost you any additional cost. So can't complain too much if it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get your knife back. It has to go all the way to Oregon and have those guys sharpen them on the benches and all that stuff, then ship it all the way back here. And the quality is always great. It's razor sharp by the time you get it back, way better than any home sharpening I've ever tried before, with a myriad of materials, mind you. However, they're having more and more issues. And I'm not the only one, apparently, but we'll talk about myself today because, well, it is my show. Now, one of the biggest issues was the first time I called them, it took about 10 minutes to get someone on the phone. Let me backtrack that. First issue was I opened the box and it was the same model knife, but it was green, which normally I love green, love my green car, but it's not my knife. So I go, whoops, well, this isn't mine. And I look at the box number versus the order number, or rather because it's technically an invoice, but it's a $0 invoice. They print that out as well. Well, the orders are wrong, or rather the numbers are wrong. So I'm like, all right, I got someone else's knife. Clearly, let me call Benchmade and see if they can help me out. And I called them, no, wait, oh, what was this? 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Finally talked to someone. Took me a while. Called me, explaining the situation. Said, hey, I'm gonna, what's your email? I did email the company 3 days prior, didn't hear anything back. So the info at email address didn't do anything. So I asked for a specific email, sent her an email with pictures showing her, not just the original knife, because you Benchmade's credit, not they deserve much, but when you mail it to them, or rather when you do the program, you take a picture of your knife, then you send it to them. So they have a picture of the original knife you send in. Makes sense because of cases like this. So I sent her that picture as well as the pictures of the knife that I got and all how the papers didn't match. I said, hey, this means a lot to me. This is I know it's not all money in the world, but it has a great sentimental value to me. And she goes, yeah, I'm looking at the system. It doesn't look like your knife was mailed out to the other guy yet. So it might be in our warehouse, or it might be in our, we'll look for the inventory and get back to you by Wednesday. 1 days, 2 days. I understand they get busy. They got a lot of stuff on their plate. And Wednesday comes and goes, nothing. So I wait a couple more days, nothing. A week later, I call back. Takes me 10 minutes to get someone on the phone call again. And the most horrific thing happened that always seems to happen when it comes to customer support on the phone. So I call, wait 10 minutes, get to hold someone on the phone, and talk to a new gal. Again, this gal wasn't very polite. The first one was, but I say, hey, here's my issue. Here's my order numbers. Have you found my knife? You have any updates? I talked to this. I'm not going to name the specific employees, because again, it's not necessarily the specific faults. And I talked to this gal. She goes, oh yeah, she's assigned to your case. Let me transfer you to her. Yeah, she did not in fact transfer me. She sent me to the 1-800. I call them pejoratively the 1-800 go to hell number, kind of the general helpline, which is never expedient. I was on that line, so now because again I had no update, so literally it was on that line for 23 minutes, and then I got a hold of someone, a new guy. So I said, hey, please don't hang up. Here's my issue. I was transferred, but not really transferred. Here's my situation. Do you have any updates? And I sent him the documentation, showing the backstory, and he said, we look, let me look in the system. Oh yeah, they said we're going to look for it. What's your cell phone number? And again, I had already given them it prior, but I gave them my cell phone number again. And he said, yeah, no worries. We're going to get this handled for you. And, worst comes to worst, if we can't find it, we'll send you a brand new knife, same model. And again, that'll be okay. But again, I'm overly sentimental. And to me, that knife means more to me than that value. And I said, please just, find my knife. They claim it's still they claim it's still there. They don't see any records of it shipping to this other individual. Also, a business blunder on their end. They haven't given me a prepaid postage to send the green knife back, and I'm pretty sure that's someone's knife. It's clearly a used knife as part of the LiveSharp program, because when I opened that box, it had that receipt, and yeah, it showed, yeah, the order was all wrong. And it's been 2 weeks now, and I'm surprised they didn't do that day one. Like, okay, topping, oh, and thanks for bringing this to our attention. Here's the shipping label, so you can send the green one back in, so you get that to the new owner. They really don't seem to give a darn about that. And the second guy also said, well, maybe it did get mailed out to the previous owner, but we'll reach out to him or her. So it seems like a lot of miscommunication, or really no communication at all. And again, this is a knife that costs, what was it, $300? It's ridiculous. It is a very expensive knife. You expect premium quality, and to the credit, if you ever get the knife delivered to you, you actually get your hands on a knife, they're pretty darn nice. I've never had an issue before, and it's always been, my daily carry. I love it. It's one of the most convenient knives I've ever owned. It's a little trophy of mine, and it's been great. But you really can't get a hold of anyone when things go wrong. And again, it's been multiple weeks now, and there's really no solid update. They're really being wishy-washy about it. Again, some are saying that my knife was never sent out. Some are saying, well, maybe it was. And I have no idea who's in charge of that company. Well, I guess I do, because you can check on LinkedIn and stuff. But again, this is something that they really brag about in their marketing materials. They're like, hey, we have the LiveSharp warranty. You can send it to us. We'll sharpen it for free forever, which is great in theory. But you go to Reddit, you look at all these other, a lot of anecdotal evidence of them either losing stuff or taking too long, which, I don't know, to me, when you buy a luxury product, is just unacceptable. I mean, after this, there's no way I would ever recommend anyone buy a Benchmade after this, especially if they want to actually count on the warranty. I mean, the warranty is not worth the paper is printed on. Not that these days you actually get things, printed, but you know what I mean. I would just tell people, like, yeah, I mean, it's going to be difficult to sharpen down your own, but take it to a local mom and pop shop, just pay a couple bucks for it. They'll sharpen it pretty good, because, again, I tried consumer grade, like, just regular sharpening stones. And granted, it's not just my ineptitudes. I had a friend try to help me out as well. And yeah, it's a really tough steel, really tough, hardened materials that they use over there, which is good. It usually means you don't have to sharpen it as much. But yeah, I just got to say, all this, and yeah, really, they haven't really given any solid next steps, remediation. So we'll see what happens if I ever actually get, I mean, again, I'm having to call them and I spent what, almost an hour of my time on the phone trying to get hold of someone. And I usually only get the employees to chat with me for maybe 2 to 5 minutes, which, again, if you're customer service, I mean, you got to be Johnny on the spot. You should be picking up your phone, like, ring 2. I mean, that's one of the things where people talk smack about Amazon, and granted, they're not the best company for a myriad of reasons, but if you have an issue with the chat box or the phone, they'll get someone on the phone with you in minutes. Maybe 2 minutes, maybe 3 at tops. This is 10 to 27 minutes, or 10 to 23 minutes, depending on what day you call them. And the second time I called them, I was at the 13th caller in line. So clearly they have some issues over there. So I gotta say, I mean, the quality of the knives, always top notch, always a great material, but I gotta say the Benchmade LiveSharp warranty, gotta say that is certainly the business blunder of the day. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.